I need to see the professionalism.
How you doing, sir? You have your license?
What's the reason for the stop?
Come on, man. Hey, go ahead and come.
What's the reason for the stop?
Supervisor?
What's the reason for the stop?
You're following officers, sir.
What's the reason for the stop?
Because you're following officers, sir.
Is that a crime?
We'll get a supervisor over here.
Please do. Am I detained?
You have your driver's license with you?
Am I detained?
Yes, sir.
What's your probable cause?
So you've been following my... That's suspicious.
It's suspicious of crime, sir? D. Cesar 511. Can I get your name and badge number? Your name and vaginal number?
Sir. Mr. Butler, right? Is it Mr. Butler?
What was your name and badge number?
334. AYALA 334.
What's your card number?
My what?
Card number? Vehicle number?
I have to go back there and check.
Can you identify those officers?
We can provide you a business card if you like. That has everybody's name on it.
I need to see your policy, your department policy, 22.27. I'm speaking, ma'am.
I'm speaking too, buddy.
Department policy 22.27 says that you must relinquish your police identification card upon request. Can I see your police identification card, ma'am?
My police what?
Did you not get a police card when you...
I don't understand what you're saying.
Am I not speaking English?
You're not speaking clearly.
Do you know what a card is?
We're not going to play this, sir. That's what we're doing. We're not going to do that.
I'm asking you to identify yourself with your police card.
And I did, and we're stopping at that.
All right. Am I free to go?
No.
What's the reason for the stop?
We already told you.
So you said I'm following somebody?
Yeah, we'll leave that. We'll just wait for that.
Can I get your name and badge number, sir? I can't see very well.
Owens 517, sir.
I'm speaking to him. Can you identify yourself, sir?
I'm telling you, it's Owens 517, sir.
All right, what? He's failing to identify himself?
No, he's not.
You're failing to identify yourself.
Okay. Just like you are, sir.
I have no reason to. Where's the supervisor? Where's the supervisor? I just want to be free to go. I don't need to speak to nobody.
Okay, then you are free to go, sir.
Get the fuck off my face then. Clowns. What the hell you stop me for? What y'all stop me for? What did y'all stop me for? I'm free to go, right? Free to go, I'm free to stay. What did you stop me for? What did you stop me for? What did you stop me for?
We already let you go.
All right, I do file formal complaints, just to let you know.
Okay, that's fine.
I do file formal complaints. You stopping my freedom of motion, no crimes, no infractions being committed. I do file formal complaints. Can you guys identify yourself, please? Do you have your police identification card per your policy 22.27? May I please see that, please? Thank you. You're the first person to ever do that. I really appreciate it. Regular strong. Thank you, sir. Owens. Thank you so much. Y'all be safe out here. Suspicion is not a crime. Just remember that, fellas. But you can't stop my freedom of movement minus a crime.
No, it's an investigation. We can make a reasonable. That's the point.
You say that again? Reasonables?
At this point,
No, I'm on the public easement. Is this a street? Is this a street?
It's a street.
Branch Drive. I'm on a street. Is it? There's no parking restrictions. Let me talk to you for a second though, because you mentioned something about reasonable suspicion, right? Reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime. That's what you need. If no crime, you can't stop my motion. Remember that. I'll bring the tampons next time.
Sergeant Desjardins, how can I help you?
Hey, I'm just returning a call. Somebody just called.
Yeah, is this Kevin?
Yeah, this is Kevin.
I got a piece of paper here that said that you wanted to file a complaint against Officer Ayala that you had filled out.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to take a look into it, but I do need to get some more information from you and actually probably meet up with you and get another statement from you, if we can do that.
Get another statement?
Yes, sir. We need to get a sworn statement.
Are you the, you said, what was your name and badge number?
I'm Sergeant Desjardins, badge number 94.
Desjardins. Are you the sergeant that was over the officers that was involved in that incident?
Yes, sir. I am one of the supervisors.
Are you the sergeant that Kenneth Owens Vadge number 517 spoke to on the phone during that incident?
I didn't speak to an Officer Owens at all.
Did you speak to Officer Strong?
Yeah, I spoke to Strong.
So
How
you
can I help you? Can we meet up somewhere? Is there a place that you and I can meet? Can I come to your house and meet with you?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Well, I just have a couple questions for you. I don't have a problem meeting up with you. I just have a few questions before we do that.
Depending on what your questions are, I also have questions as well. So we're going to have to work together here. So on your, but go ahead.
Well, I'm just curious as to why why number one, you're just now getting back to me, even though I asked for you to come on the scene.
Yeah.
And number two, I came up there to speak with you, and you didn't show up, and now all of a sudden you're calling me to provide another statement. After I've already provided a statement, I filed a complaint. So I'm just curious as to why why all of a sudden you wanted to meet up with me.
Well, as you know, Killeen is a very big city, and when you had your traffic stop on the 4th, they called me. I was working on another call, of course, and with other officers, because those police officers aren't the only police officers we're responsible for. And when they explained to me the situation over the phone, I also heard it on the radio. It sounded pretty serious. These officers, they're out here doing a good job. They're trying to keep the citizens safe. And when I have a citizen following somebody around, we think, number one, are they trying to harm the police officer, or are they themselves in a crisis and need assistance? So those are things that we have to weigh out. So when the police officers stopped you and figured out this is what the situation was, I did not have the luxury of breaking off from what I was working on and coming over immediately to that traffic stop. So that's the reason I didn't show up over there. And it's not going to happen every single time. Now, if there is a situation where you're being under arrest, or they're using force on you, physical force on you, then by all means we'll come over and we'll do an investigation. We'll move forward from that.
Wait, you mean like this situation?
If you're a passenger, you don't have to identify.
Hey, you are now breaking the law. You're interfering with the traffic.
Voice alone can't be deemed interference.
Okay, yes, it is interference. You think
Voice alone can't be. What's your name and badge number?
It's printed on my shirt. Move out of the way.
Are you trying to intimidate me?
I'm not trying to intimidate you.
So why are you so close to me?
Okay, give me your ID. You've interfered with an investigation. If you refuse to give me your ID, you're going to jail. Hey, go ahead.
Get your supervisor on the scene.
I don't need a supervisor. You can see him down at the jail. You're going to jail for interference.
What's interference? Just so you saying
interfering with my investigation.
All right, he got his.
All
right, he got his hand.
You have no right to interfere with an investigation.
He put his hands on me. Can I put my phone in my pocket?
Your hands behind your back. I refusing to identify
So
yourself and you interfere with
deprivation of rights under the color
No,
of
sir.
law.
No,
Not at all.
I have a right to record.
You do.
You can record. I don't care.
So you saying because I
No,
you
sir.
saying because I said something that's
yes, you
interfering?
You
interfered.
can stay
Get
away
your
and watch.
supervisor on the scene before
you
you
will
make a
see-
big mistake.
Supervisor,
let's go.
you see this? I don't need a
Okay,
supervisor.
get your
Okay.
sergeant, get your
No, I-
lieutenant on the
Walk to the
You're
scene.
going over to my car.
3106, we have another 95 out.
Now, if there is a situation where you're being under arrest or they're using force on you, physical force on you, then by all means we'll come over and we'll do an investigation. We'll move forward from that because integrity of the scene is important, especially to the supervisors. So I attempted to call you back the day that you came to the police department on the 10th. Let's see. You came on the 9th. You said you came on the 9th, but it was actually on the 10th because on the 10th when I got the call, maybe it was the next day, the information came to me when I got the document on the 10th at 3:30. I attempted to call you back. That's the notes that I have here on my document. I couldn't get in touch with you. It wouldn't even allow me to leave a voice message. I don't know if you were on the phone or whatever the case may be. And so this morning, and then I've been off. So this morning, before the day gets busy, I decided that I would attempt to call you again. I called you, left you a voice message, and then you called me back. So now we're speaking. So
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah. Did you authorize Ayala to make that stop?
I don't need to authorize them to make a traffic stop.
Well, are you familiar with reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime?
I absolutely am very familiar with it.
Are your officers familiar with it?
I would absolutely hope so.
So do you understand that are you able to detain someone without reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime?
If to answer your question, a police officer can stop and talk to anybody at any time. Period. So
you saying that you can stop somebody's freedom of motion for any reason?
They can stop a person for any reason at any time. Now, if you're in a vehicle, which I understand you were in a vehicle on this one, if you're driving around, they're not going to stop your vehicle unless they have reasonable suspicion that you've committed a crime or you need assistance or something along those lines. But if you're walking around on the roadway or if you're out and about, officers want to stop and talk with you, they have the ability to stop and talk to you at any point, at any time. You can refuse to talk to them, and sometimes sometimes people do refuse us, and that's fine. And if they have a reason to continue their interview, then they can move forward with that. But if the person refuses and just walks away, then the officer has to break contact. In this case, when you're following a police officer in a patrol car and you're in a civilian car, that's reasonable suspicion, day or night.
So when I say stop, I mean by detain. So you saying you can stop anybody walking around?
Yes, sir. They can stop you if you're following them around in your car and they're on patrol, which is what this situation is. And this is the only thing you and I are going to be discussing today is what happened on that day. They have the right, in my opinion, to stop you and to detain you, to find out what is going on, and then they can move forward, which in this case, they didn't even write you a citation, they didn't arrest you, you didn't even provide identification to them, I don't believe. But they absolutely have the ability to stop you and investigate what's going on.
Do they teach you guys about Terry versus Ohio?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
And you know Terry versus
Terry
Ohio.
And I'm not going to go through all these court cases with you on this now.
No, it's not a court case. This is something dealing with what you guys stopped me for, right?
Do you have a specific complaint, Mr. Butler, that you and I can discuss at this time?
Have you spoken with
the videos? I'm going to review the media that's available to me, and then I am going to administer any kind of punishment that these officers may have violated. Do you have a specific complaint that they may have violated your rights on that you want to complain beyond what you have here on your document? I'm not going to go through all of these, Terry versus Ohio, the Carroll doctrine. I'm not going to go through all those with you on the telephone, sir. We're just
reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime. You cannot detain minus a crime. Let me ask you this: is following a police officer a crime?
Sir, when the officers can articulate in their mind, and they can, that you're following them, then yes.
So,
because again, they don't know what your intent is. Are you trying to harm them? Do you need help? And trying to harm them alone.
So what crime? What crime is
enough for them to stop you and investigate? It's yes, absolutely they can. If you don't agree with it, I'm sorry.
So what crime is following a police officer? What crime is that?
I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. So, is there anything else I can help you with?
I'm asking you a question. What crime is following a police officer?
Anything else I can help you with besides going over all of these documents?
Yes.
With you?
Did you speak with Ayala about my complaint?
I did. Yes.
And what was the conversation?
That's not going to be discussed with me and you over the telephone. Now, if you want to meet, you and I can meet up. I also have some paperwork that we need to serve on you as well. So, where's a place that you and I can meet?
Some paperwork that you need to serve on me? What is that?
Well, you have 3 warrants for your arrest, and I'd like to serve those warrants today if possible.
Okay.
Or you can come down here and turn yourself in.
What's the warrant? What is the warrants regarding?
I'm not going to go over that with you on the phone, but we do have 3 warrants for your arrest. So, do you want to come on down and we can work this out?
Yeah, I'll come down at my convenience.
Okay, if you want to come down, let me know. If not, I can come by the house. Also, I wanted to ask you about your driver's license. Do you still have are you still driving around on the Arizona driver's license, sir?
I'd rather not answer those type of questions right now.
Yeah, if you're on the Arizona driver's license, I do want to let you know you are a resident of the state of Texas, because we've had you here for more than 90 days. You do need to get a Texas driver's license, and if you're driving around on an Arizona driver's license and you're not a member of the armed forces, you're breaking the law there as well.
Okay, well, you don't know if I'm driving around on the Arizona license, so that's irrelevant.
That's why I wanted to ask, because I'm going to...
Well, unless I tell you, you don't know, right?
Well, I will when we stop you and we find out.
Okay.
Because, I mean, if you're committing traffic violations, we're going to...
Well, until that happens, then we'll cross that bridge when it happens, okay?
All right, sir. Well, so are you coming down today? Can we meet up today?
Well, I'm not in town today, so I'll come down when I get back in town. I'll square it away then.
Where can I meet up with you at, Mr. Butler? Are you still over on...
Well, I'm not in town.
Can I meet up with you over there?
Did you not just hear what I said?
I didn't hear what you said.
Okay. Well, I don't feel like repeating it. Like I said, I'll handle that once at my convenience.
Do you have anything else for me, Mr. Butler?
Yes. Let me see. I did have a couple questions for you. So just so you know, you must have a crime in order to stop somebody's motion. You can't just stop somebody walking down the street and say you're not free to go, minus a crime that you can reasonably articulate. I don't know what they're teaching you guys, but I've seen it happen a lot, even with a lot of the other cops outside of me. Even that same day that they stopped me, they stopped another man for walking down the street and stopped his freedom of motion, demanding his ID because he was walking down the street. Now, this situation, I was driving by this man walking down the road, and I saw the cop come in the opposite direction towards me, and he did a U-turn and stopped the man's freedom of motion, and all I ever saw him doing was walking down the street. Not in the street, but on the easement.
I'm walking down the public easement. Strong 456. All right. Just do your job, Strong.
I got you. I'm just talking to you. That's part of my job, all right?
What's the reason for y'all stopping him for?
What's that?
Why y'all stopping him?
Because he's walking. Not facing the right direction. And someone called. They're worried about him. He's walking.
He's not walking in the roadway though.
Someone called a welfare concern. That's why we're out.
So why y'all take his ID then?
Because we asked for it.
Come on, man.
That's all.
Y'all just been out here violating rights all day today. What's going on, Strong? That's what y'all been doing. You just violated my rights. Now you violating his rights. He walking down the street and you stopping him for what? And then you don't try to tell me I'm interfering for walking down the street too. What's going on with that, Strong? You told me to stop. Did you not tell me to stop?
That's exactly what I told you.
That's not a lawful directive.
We're conducting an investigation.
So you saying anybody that walked down the street is interfering with your investigation?
When you walk up on us, we're in the middle of an investigation. It's fine. If you wanted to keep walking, you could have kept walking. It's fine.
When you told me to don't come any further, I was 25 feet away. So you saying I can't get no closer than 25 feet?
There's no number to it. I just asked you not to come any closer, correct?
But you can't be giving me no directives at all.
I didn't threaten you with arrest. I just asked you to simply not come any closer while we're conducting our investigation, okay?
But that's not for you to determine.
It is for me to determine.
Until I actually interfere with your investigation, you don't have to say nothing to me.
You're absolutely right. I don't have to, but I did. I asked you not to come any closer. That's what happened, right? I didn't threaten you or compel you with any sort of arrest or anything like that. I just asked you not to come closer.
Okay.
We were just two dudes having a conversation a second ago.
Right.
All right, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, but just try to remember that if I'm not committing a crime.
No one accused you of committing a crime right now.
Yeah, but you have no authority to tell me anything until that happens.
So when we're conducting an investigation,
Mm-hmm.
okay, for everyone's safety and all, there's no understanding there's cars and everything like that.
Mm-hmm. That has nothing to do with pedestrians on the side of the road.
So when we're conducting an investigation,
Mm-hmm.
I simply ask you not to come any closer.
Right.
I'm well within my
Was that a lawful order?
You not interfering with our investigation is a lawful order. I ask you not to come any closer. Right?
Yeah, but do you know what interference is?
Your safety, his safety, your safety. Number one, our call.
Interference. Right, but interference. If you saying that's a
Our conversation right now is interfering with our investigation. It's not because I was investigating something. I was assisting my partner.
no. Actually, it's not.
I have to engage with you.
Actually, it's not. If you read the
Okay. You understand what I'm trying to get at? Like, I didn't threaten you with anything. I simply made a request.
right.
For you to not come any closer while we're conducting this investigation.
What's the penal code for interference?
I'm sure you
38.15. I would suggest you go look up Section D of that penal code.
I didn't accuse you of anything.
You just said it. You just said by me talking to you, I'm interfering with your investigation. No, you didn't. But you just accused me of a crime.
How you identify yourself?
You just accused me. You saying that by me talking to you, I'm interfering with your investigation.
Yes, because now my attention is away from who I initially stopped out.
If you can't keep your attention on your subject, that's your problem.
I have to keep my attention on you now.
You could have called back up. You could have called right. So why did you take your attention away from your subject? Because I'm standing with a camera.
You interjected yourself into our discussion.
I did not interject. When I walked up, did I say anything? You came and started talking to me, right?
You walked up, you were coming close to us. I asked you.
25 feet away.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
You engaged me. You took your attention away from your subject.
You're not coming any closer.
Okay, was that a lawful order?
I asked you to not come any closer while we were conducting our investigation. For this exact reason.
For what exact reason?
Because now I have to pay attention to you.
That's why you got a police force. You call back up. I'm a free. At the end of the day, I'm a free citizen standing on a public easement. I have a right to record. I have a right to speak. Right. So how can you tell me that because I spoke to you that I'm committing a crime?
I haven't threatened you with arrest. I haven't accused you of anything.
You did.
I haven't compelled you to identify yourself.
You did.
I haven't done any of that.
You did accuse me.
Well, right now we're just going to say it like this.
Yeah, it's fine. That's all I do is film. I'm not.
I got you.
But let me just let you know this.
You know what's going to happen when you walk up on a floor conducting our official duties.
Right.
You know exactly what's going to happen every time you.
Yeah, you guys are going to try to provoke and try to accuse me of a crime, and then sometimes you do arrest me. That's what happens because you guys can't do your job professionally, and you can't.
I feel like you and I are having a pretty
we are. We are.
Chill conversation.
Yeah, until you start accusing me of a crime. I will leave you with this. Interference is a physical act. It's a physical act. It's not what I think. That's the law. Yeah, I have no problem talking with you either.
I mean, like, I feel like you and I pretty much have respect for each other. Like, I've never accused you of anything like that. Like, I mean, you and I, every time we interact, it's normally pretty.
Yeah.
And that's just how I want to do it. Like, I know you're not trying to cause issues, you're just trying to get your foot in, do your thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, I'm just trying to educate y'all because it seems like, you guys are, out here just kind of going along with the flow. You really don't know what you guys are doing. You don't know a lot of the laws that you accuse people of. And, it's just, I feel that it's my duty to be out here informing the citizens and also informing you guys because and I hope that the next time I speak with you, you would look up that penal code 38.15 and actually read it and understand it. Because there's case. It's not really a law. They say it's case law, but it's not an actual law. It's just precedence. It's case precedent. It's case precedence. City of Houston versus Hill.
That's case law. You're citing case law.
Yeah, case law, but it's not an actual law. It's not a penal code. Yeah.
It's certain courts have upheld certain rulings in certain situations.
Right. Yes, that's the term for it, but it's not actual law. It's actually case precedents. It's basically opinions of Supreme Court or Circuit Court judges. Yeah, absolutely. But City of Houston versus Hill covers exactly what's going on right now. And it's been long held since 1987 that speech alone cannot be deemed interference. And it even said in the 38.15, Section B, just look it up. It says specifically, it is a defense to this prosecution.
I get what you're saying. I understand.
What do you mean a defense to? Why you say it like that?
A defense to it can be a defense to prosecution. It doesn't mean that it is always a defense to prosecution.
Right.
Okay, that's what it means. It means that it can be.
Right.
So obviously, because you can't put everyone in a little box.
Yeah.
Say the second this happens, it's interference. I get that. So the defense to
right.
It doesn't mean that it is. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah, that coupled with the case law or precedent.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, so it's been long held that, I have to be like in between you guys or stopping you from trying to arrest him or something like that. Now that's interference. But me just walking down the sidewalk or even me speaking to you guys or me even speaking to the subject, that's not interference. And a lot of times you guys will I've been arrested and been convicted for the exact same thing.
I
guess so.
simply asked you to kind of give
Yeah,
okay.
And I respect that.
And I appreciate that.
I'm gonna have to educate this young brother. So y'all citing them too?
Let's get over it.
walking down the street. They want to give him a ride now. They're gonna have to pat him down, go in his pockets, and search him. That's why they offer you a ride, because they want to pat you down. Ah, man. See, that's why they want to give you a ride right there. That's why they want to give you a ride. All right. Be safe, brother. You want to go to Mickey's? 38.15. I'm gonna ask you next time I see you.
Well, you wasn't walking, you were actually driving.
I know I wasn't. I'm just saying, regardless whether you walking or driving.
And if you're driving a vehicle and you're just driving down the road and you see a police officer and you're like, hey, I want to stop and talk to that guy, that's different. But when the officers are making intentional patrolling movements into neighborhoods and cul-de-sacs and they're doing loops and you're following their movements and you're emulating what they're doing, that's not what a normal citizen does in a vehicle. That then becomes
Is it a crime, sir?
Suspicion at that point. So they have the ability to, now if you're just going the same way, and then if you're like, well, sir, you know, maybe you had something wrong with your car. Sir, I just wanted to see who you were. I wanted to see what's going on. You know, if you're having a decent conversation with them, they're probably going to answer your questions and move on. But when they immediately get bombarded with the, I'm not doing anything wrong, and you're just really not having an honest conversation with a police officer. These guys are very busy. They're extremely busy on the road, and they don't need to be followed. They don't need to be worried about what Kevin Butler is going to be doing to them. We don't know if you have a gun or a knife or a machete or a hatchet in your car, and you're just waiting for a target, you know, and they're just targets of opportunity. We don't know that. And you have been known to follow police officers around. I don't guess they recognized your vehicle that day. So that's why you're going to be stopped. And you're probably going to be stopped in the future if you continue to do that. And if you continue to do it and you continue to harass them, we're going to...
Harass?
Yeah. When
Are you familiar with harassment?
When you're obstructing them from being able to do...
How am I obstructing? How am I obstructing, sir?
That's when you're preventing them from doing their job when they're in a vehicle.
Obstructing is a physical act. I must be physically stopping them from doing their job.
That is not good. So I would advise you to just calm down.
I'm calm. You the one need to calm down. Y'all need to stop stopping people with no crime being committed.
Well,
you know that I'm a cop watcher.
They're gonna stop and investigate it.
You can't detain someone to investigate. You must have RAS before you can detain.
All right, sir. Is there anything else? We're not going to go over the Carroll doctor. We're not going to go over Terry versus Ohio. We're not going to do any of this over the telephone.
So what did you call me for then?
Well, because I wanted to tell you that I'm looking into the complaint and wanted to find out if you had anything else to add to it. That's why I called you.
No, you called me because you want to arrest me on the warrant. That's the only reason you called.
I do want to serve the warrants as well. I want my police officers to serve the warrants because we got to clear those out as well. So, you know, if I can get a date and time and a location, I'd love to get in touch with you in reference to that, and we can clear those up too. So, you know, if we can just take care of all that, and I can finish up this complaint. I want to review the videos. I want to review the documents. I want to see what all happened out there that day on the side of the road. Like I said, I'm sorry we didn't get to meet in person, but if you do want to meet up when you come back in town, just let me know.
Okay. Yeah, well, next time just try to come on the scene, because it seems like every time that I ask for a supervisor when you guys are out there harassing me, I never get a supervisor. Why is that? Why is it?
If you're following the police officers around and then you're the cause of them turning around and stopping you for it, I'm not going to stop the domestics that I'm on, the robbery that I'm on,
the traffic, the unlawful traffic stops that you're on.
I'm not going to stop that to come out there to listen to you try to explain to me how you was not being suspicious or you was not breaking the law. We can handle that at the police department. And it may take a couple of days, and I do apologize. We work 12-hour shifts. We work rotating days off. So there are days that fall in the crack, between the cracks, and it's just not possible to immediately get back to something. Now, if it's a life or death situation, by all means, we're gonna be on that as quickly as we can. But for an administrative complaint, and especially when the officers called me and said, "Sarge, here's the situation. He's not cooperating with us on scene." If you want a better response from us, the best thing you can do is cooperate with the officers that are working with you right then and there, and then that helps us, and we can tell him, we'll just give him a few minutes, let him know I'm 15 minutes away, but it'll be 20 minutes on the job. And that's going to take a little time for us to get there. But sometimes, if you don't mind waiting, but if you're not cooperating with the police officer, if you're arguing,
what do you mean by not cooperating?
If they ask you for your driver's license and you don't produce it, and then you just immediately start asking them and demanding answers of them, then that's a problem.
Well, if I'm you saying that
wrong with asking them for their ID, and that's one thing that I did notice on here, that you asked. I guess you asked them for their ID and they didn't give it to you, and I certainly am interested in that when I review the media available, because they do need to give you their ID if you ask them for them. We have a policy that says if the member of the public requests for identification, then the officer they're supposed to carry it at all times. We do the inspections periodically to make sure they are carrying their IDs, and they should produce that to the citizen. However, I'm not going to require them to stop what they're doing if they're in the middle of something and do it right then and there. That's something that can be handled after the investigation's over, and then we're moving into well, you're now free to go, and then you request. That is the time that they need to say, okay, I'm on duty. It is my job to produce this for them. They don't have to hand it to you, but they do need to show it to you. And so if you did request that, I'm certainly going to address that with them, the officers that were on scene. So there's some things, some learning, some things that's coming out that we're all learning together. You called them out on something if they didn't show it to you, and they should have showed it to you. I think that was one of your complaints.
Yeah, well, see, it was only her. That's why she's the only one. Well, I'm the other guy, Cesar. He's gonna get a complaint as well, but not. I never asked him for his ID, but I did ask Ayala, and I did ask Owens and Strong. Owens and Strong, they provided me their ID as per their policy. Ayala, she was very condescending. Her tone was nasty. She spoke to me with disrespect, and she didn't provide her ID as per the policy. So that's why she got a complaint.
That's what I want to address, and that's what our conversation here is for, to clarify that, just to kind of get information specifically for those individuals. And see, if I'd have showed up out there, I would have had her show it to you, but I would not have forced her to give it to you or anything of that nature. So, but anyway, those are things that I'm looking at, policy violations, so I can address those and correct them and find out, well, did you have it on you? And if you didn't, you broke that rule. Did you show it to him? If you didn't, you broke that rule. And then I can administratively, through progressive discipline, handle those situations. So I do appreciate you bringing that to my attention.
Yeah, well, you guys need to brush up on that, because like I said, whether regardless of whether I was following them or not, it's not a crime to do so.
Oh yes, well, it's not a crime to follow them, but it is suspicious, and suspicious is what they needed to stop you.
Is suspicion a crime?
It is enough for you to be detained. Absolutely.
All right. Well, that's what Killeen is teaching you guys.
Anything else I can help?
Is that what the department is teaching you guys? That you can detain somebody for suspicion?
Is there anything else? This isn't a back and forth with me and you.
This is the only question that I'm asking you. Is your department teaching you that you can detain somebody for being suspicious?
You can be stopped, and so those officers can investigate what you're doing when you're following them through cul-de-sacs and making every turn with them. Yes, sir. And if those officers if you're doing that again, we're going to stop you again, and we're going to figure out what is it you're doing. And
okay.
If you're breaking the law, we're going to enforce the law. So that's I'm just giving you the nuts and bolts of it. If you don't want to be in our radar in that regard, then don't let the officers heighten their suspicion and make them feel unsafe. They feel unsafe anyway when they go into these houses. I don't know if you've ever gone to a domestic where the two people inside the house are trying to hurt one another, and now you're trying to interject yourself and protect everybody, and then they all try. I don't know if you've ever been in that. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where somebody's holding a gun to their head, and your job is to go there and disarm them and talk to them, and then get them medical assistance and mental health assistance. I don't know if they go through that every day. And those are the things that's on their mind, not needing to worry about, is a guy following me who just wants to know what I'm doing, isn't trying to harm me, or is he trying to harm me? They don't need that. And if you're giving that to them, then I would advise you to please stop doing that. Please stop it so they can focus on the important citizens that are trying to kill themselves or kill someone else or get these drugs off the street, get these guns out of these cars that are killing our kids, so they can focus on that uninterrupted. Can we do that together? Can we work together for that?
As long as you can respect the rights of the citizens, as far as us having the freedom of speech and us having the freedom to movement, then I can do that as well. Like I said, speech is not a crime. Interference is a physical act. So unless I'm physically stopping you or physically impeding you from doing your job or from stopping the guy from blowing his head off, then just do your job. If you didn't take your medicine that day to help you stay focused on your job, then you may need to find another line of work. The Supreme Court has already ruled that you're not responsible for nobody's safety, even the one that's about to blow his head off. See?
But society, Supreme Court says that, but society wants us to be the middleman and wants us to be that line that says this guy is mentally unstable, or this guy's unsafe, or this guy's doing something unsafe. The police officers, we want them to do that. So until it's a clear, until there's something better than us, our officers have to focus on that. They have to focus on taking care of these people who are trying to kill themselves or kill someone else.
And when you say by taking care of them, that means showing up and blowing their head off like you did what's the name, like you did that man with Patrick Warren Sr.
Who?
Patrick Warren Sr. When you guys showed up, he was a mentally unstable guy, and you guys left.
Oh, I think there were circumstances beyond anybody's control on that one.
Killeen, police. Is the door open? Hello.
How you doing? Hey.
Okay.
Hey, how are you? You guys could
Come on in. Come on in. What I say?
Okay. Hold on, man. Let me.
No. Come on.
Okay.
Come on in.
No. I'm gonna walk back out. I don't work like this.
Hey.
Give me the channel. All right, I had to come outside. There's about 6 of them in there. He came rushing at the door. He closed the door on me, so I'm just waiting for more units.
Take it by faith.
Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. I want to change the point. Let me see your hands. Get down on the ground. 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 You're gonna get tased. You're gonna get tased. One taste. One taste. Lay down on your back. Lay down on the back. Lay back. I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna shoot you. Shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired. Stop. Get on the ground.
So yeah, I'm really sorry that
I'm not sure. He could have just went in his car and he would have avoided. The man was unarmed. All the man was doing was walking up on him and he got down. And you knew that he was mentally disabled.
We don't want him walking up on us either. So, but anyway, hopefully we can work together on this. Like I said, we do need to take care of these warrants as well. So I'd like to clear this out as quickly as we can, if that's possible.
Okay, well, as soon as I get back in town, I'll be more than happy to help you clear it out.
Okay, sir. You need anything else?
No,
You've
thank you.
answered my questions on the complaints, so, and I do appreciate that. Do you need anything else from me?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, bye.